Disclaimer: this story is a fictionalized horror retelling inspired by real events surrounding the Annabelle Haunted Tour. Dan Rivera didn't fear the things that went bump in the night. He lived among them. For almost a decade, he was one of the most respected names in paranormal investigation. But he wasn't a ghost hunter. He was a curator, a collector of haunted objects, cursed mirrors, bloodstained dolls, lockets taken from crime scenes. But one item towered above the rest: Annabelle. Not the Hollywood version, the real one. A simple Raggedy Ann doll with faded red yarn hair and button eyes, locked in a thick glass case, blessed by priests, never to be touched with bare hands. Dan didn't believe she was evil, but he believed in the stories, and he believed in respecting what he didn't understand. In the summer of 2025, Dan joined the Devils on the Run tour, a traveling exhibit of haunted artifacts. He was the headliner, and Annabelle was the main act. The team stopped in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a town already drenched in death and history. They were booked in the historic Dunninger Hotel, a building nearly 200 years old. Dan requested room 313, the most isolated room in the hotel. The exhibit was held in the ballroom downstairs. Over 100 guests showed up. Some came just to see Annabelle. Others came to provoke her. People knocked on her glass, mocked her, challenged her. Dan always warned them, "Don't taunt what you don't understand." Some laughed it off, but not Dan. He gave the same speech every night. "This doll doesn't move, it doesn't speak, but it doesn't have to. It's a beacon, a magnet. Whatever attached itself to this thing, it doesn't like disrespect." That night, strange things began happening during the show. A woman in the third row fainted when her phone screen shattered, in her pocket. A man said he saw the doll blink. A child started crying uncontrollably and said, "The lady inside the doll wants out." Dan kept calm. He'd seen it all before. But later that night, one of the assistants claimed to have seen Dan whispering alone in the ballroom, staring into the glass case. They said he looked different, like he wasn't talking to the doll, but listening. Dan went to bed just after midnight. Surveillance footage shows him walking down the hall, key in hand, shoulders tense. At 2:13 a.m., the hallway cameras glitched, complete static for 53 minutes. When the feed returned, the hallway was empty. The next morning, Dan didn't come down for breakfast. His team knocked. No answer. Hotel security opened the door. He was lying on the floor, eyes wide open, mouth half open, as if gasping. No wounds, no sign of struggle. But the expression on his face, it was pure terror. Like he saw something that shouldn't exist. They found his phone on the desk, still recording a voice memo. But the audio was corrupted, except for one faint sound. A knock. 3 soft knocks. Then a whisper, barely audible. "She's not in the case anymore." Authorities arrived. The official report said, "No drugs, no trauma, heart failure, natural causes, undetermined." But his family insisted. Dan had no heart problems. He was healthy, focused, calm. Here's what chilled everyone. The Annabelle case was locked and sealed in the ballroom. Only Dan had the key. That key was still in his pocket. But the case had been opened, just slightly, just enough. The priest assigned to bless the exhibit that morning refused. He said something was wrong, said the air was different. He took something with him, he said, or something followed him back. Dan's body was flown home in a sealed casket. His funeral was private. No cameras, no press. The tour was canceled indefinitely. Annabelle was returned to the museum. But some say the case is different now, that the doll sits in a new position, that the glass fogs up at night, and no one talks about what they saw on the last night's footage, before the static. Some people believe Dan died of natural causes. Others believe he crossed a line no one was meant to cross. And if you ever visit Gettysburg and you hear a knock on your hotel door at 3 a.m., don't open it, don't speak. And whatever you do, never say her name.